Once upon a nation, that people come and tell stories here.
Yeah, it's for the Philadelphia walk.
While we're here, James, I think the best thing is to walk on the thing now. Because what we're walking now. Yeah, I figured that.
Where are you going to get one?
Where are you going to get one? How are you going to get it for?
I was eventually going to hit an ATM on this.
We'll see the price here.
We'll get something, and there's an ATM right here. This is Wachovia, I think.
Yeah.
This is Wachovia Bank right here?
Yes, it is. And there's that's an ATM.
Oh, do you need a picture?
Yeah.
What, I just hit the red button, Ted? I'm trying to. Ready?
Barely no feet.
I was helping him do his stuff that he's making skills.
No, it's just the way it sits. Look at it from above.
I'd like to welcome you today, folks, to Independence Hall. This building was begun in 1732 and largely completed by 1744. It was the colonial government house of the Penn family. William Penn founded the colony of Pennsylvania in 1682, ran it basically on his own until his death in 1718, and then his widow and his sons ruled the colony until the Penns were rather rudely ousted from power in 1776. This then became known as the Pennsylvania State House, and the official title of this building, even to this day, is the Pennsylvania State House. We get that wonderful name, Independence Hall, from a very famous visitor who came here in 1824. He was the Marquis de Lafayette. He was that very famous Frenchman who rose to become second in command to George Washington himself during the Revolution. But when he came to Philadelphia, he announced he was going to the whole of Independence, and a big crowd followed him. And City Father said, good name. And so Independence Hall has been ever since. Excuse me. Now, this is the courtroom. This is where we start our tours. And let me first say to you, everything in here is a reproduction. If I can touch things, they're not original, they're reproduction. Okay? It's a very good reproduction of a courtroom as it might have looked in about the year 1760. And if we came back in time, we go back in time, come back into this room in about 1760, and a trial was going on here, we would understand almost everything that's going on in that trial. Reason is, our legal system comes to us lock, stock, and barrel from Great Britain. I mean, when we gave up being English, we didn't give up everything that was English. Okay? And let me show you what I mean. When you walked into this room, you didn't have to open a door. You see, if you were accused of a crime, you were entitled to a speedy and a public trial. Oh my, would the public have been where you are now? I mean, wow, it was interactive too, but I'll tell you, they were hoot and howl. It was really something. Also, if you were brought in here already, a grand jury would have said there was enough evidence to warrant a case. 12 in this box, 12 in this box. Okay? And if you were brought in here for trial, you could bring witnesses in here to testify on your behalf. And you could question those who would testify against you. Witnesses gave their testimony up here in the witness box after having sworn the same oath you hear in an American or British courtroom to this day, that you'll tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. The jury of 12, which decided on guilt or innocence, met right here in this box. Now, there are some differences. Come here, my young friends. Come with me. Right up in here. Now, here's a guy.
Guilty.
This, friends, let him up front there. Wait, turn around there. Let him up front. This is the prisoner's box. This is where the prisoners literally stood trial. And you didn't slouch, you didn't slump, because if you did, the bailiff would use his tip staff. That's a brass tip. He'd smack you on the back of the head. You got the idea real quick that you stood trial. Now, here we have a gang of desperados. All right? What says this jury? Are these guys innocent or guilty? Guilty. Oh, okay.
Innocent until
Thank you very much, gentlemen, for being our prisoners of the day. Thank you, gentlemen. Lawyers from both sides sat at this table. Yeah, your lawyer was sitting with a guy trying to put you into jail. You better hope your lawyer's on the up and up. They didn't do deals in those days like they do today. We have to set for 3 judges tonight. If you were here for a minor offense, it'd be 1 judge. Something more serious, 3. A capital offense where you might pay with your life, there'd be 5 judges up there. Imagine being brought in here with all the crowd hooping and hollering and all the apparatus and 5 judges. If it didn't kill you, it would scare you to death. Okay? So it was quite a thing. Now, we do have an original piece in the room, just one. It's that placard right there. That's the coat of arms of the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. Now, up until the 8th of July, 1776, there would have been another coat of arms up there, and it would have looked like this.
Hello?
It was a 200-pound wooden sculpture of the lion and the unicorn of Great Britain, symbol of King George III.
No.
On the 8th of July, 1776, out here in the back, they read the Declaration of Independence to the American people for the very first time. Militia men from Pennsylvania came in here, they pulled this off the wall, they paraded it around the city all that day, and that night they committed an act of treason. They dropped it onto a bonfire and they burned it. This took its place in 1785 and it's been hanging there ever since. Now, the American Revolution. Yeah, April 19, 1775. After 12 years of protests and taxes and troops being quartered in our homes, war broke out between 13 tiny colonies on the east coast of North America and the world's superpower today, Great Britain. There was already a meeting called for that room across the hall, the Assembly Room. It was the Second Continental Congress. And those men were sent here to try to find ways to ease the tensions and compromise. Well, they tried hard, but they failed. And when they failed, events happened in that room that make it one of the most important, not only in the history of this country, but as events would have it in the history of the world. So I invite you to go across the hallway to the Assembly Room, and we'll continue our story there. Spread out right across the back of the room. There's plenty of room for everyone. is the room you came here to see today, ladies and gentlemen. This is the assembly room at Independence Hall. This is where the Second Continental Congress began meeting on the 5th of May, 1775. Now remember, war had broken out up here in Lexington and Concord, up here in Boston, back on April 19th. So the war was already on when these guys came here. Now they did what they were sent here to do. They sent a letter to King George III, and it's called the Olive Branch Petition. The Olive Branch of Peace was offered to King George one last time. Now, in that letter, Congress asked King George to stop the fighting and to compromise on the issues that were dividing us. Issues like taxation, representation in Parliament, acts of trade, those writs of assistance, those general search warrants the British used, and the quartering of troops in our homes at our own expense. Well, they got a reply from King George III. He told these